Welcome. For those that have been following along, my name is Noe and I'm a photographer here in Seoul, South Korea. Now, I've been doing this kind of side project involving these disposable cameras. Now, some of you have actually never seen these, which makes me feel quite old. These are old film cameras. You can buy them, you can use them, and after you're done with them, you turn them in, you get them developed, and they throw them away, but you get your pictures. Now, what I wanted to do was give these cameras to different students around Seoul, students that have never held a camera before, and just let them take pictures. Two students, I already did 2 videos on 2 students' pictures. They're much older. One of them's in high school. One of them was the first year in middle school. And I just got back maybe another 3 cameras. So one more camera we're doing today is actually from a 6th grade student. It's a girl. The camera I have in my hand is from a 4th grader. No, wait. From a 5th grade boy. And today I got a camera from a 4th grade girl. So there's only one camera out there left. It's from a 3rd grader. And there's actually one more camera where I haven't really heard from the person ever again. It's from a high school student, but you know what? These kind of things happen. But I'm still pretty excited. Anyways, I gave them these cameras. They shot around the city. They gave them back to me when they finished. And after this whole project thing is over, I'm going to print out some of the best pictures. And I'm going to have them printed and put on the wall, kind of a little small art exhibit at a local cafe so the students can come and visit with their parents. So without further ado, let's go over some of the pictures that this 6th grade girl took. Now, I did get a sneak peek when I was transferring over the files to my phone, but you know what, I tried not to. The first picture we have is actually, well, I told her she could take a picture of anything she wanted, preferably avoiding people, because I don't know if they want me to show them, but here's a man, maybe it's her father, he looks about that age, out there in the mountains. It's an alright photo, you know. Next, wait, who is that? Wait, maybe that was her uncle and this next couple is her parents. My guess. But yeah, it's not uncommon. There's a lot of hiking here in Korea because there's like mountains everywhere. So that's pretty much what there is to do, you know. And given that they're smiling, I figure there is some level of familiarity between them. So it's a nice photo. Actually, this is a really good picture. Like, this is the kind of picture I would print. They're kind of backlit, but there's still enough ambient light where you can see their faces. So I really like the scenery. I really like how they're like kind of posed and sitting. So this is a good picture. I like that. That's gonna be printed for sure. Next photo looks like the first guy from the beginning. Maybe it was her brother, maybe it's her uncle. I don't really know, but it's all right. It's a little too far, I think, but who am I to criticize, really? Here we have another picture. It looks like the same guy back with the kind of suits. So I'm not really good at critiquing. You know, people always ask me to critique their photos like I'm someone worthy of critiquing them. I already have a video explaining why I don't like commenting on people's pictures or critiquing them, because basically I'm not qualified, even though I am a professional, but that's check out the video if you want to know why I don't go around critiquing people's pictures, with the exception of my students. Here it looks like they're well, it's a monument. I would like to see a little bit more of their face. You know, if you're closer, you can see their expressions. But then if you're closer, you probably won't get the monument in the photo. It's actually well composed. You can see the whole thing. So she's got the fundamentals going. Here's another picture. Again, I would have kind of zoomed in with your feet. You know, there's always this big debate about like primes versus zooms, and personally, I think it's just a bunch. You know, I think it's a bunch of that. You know, it's just take a photo. You know, it don't really matter too much. Maybe this is her grandpa. It looks that way. She puts the people in the middle a lot. Well, she doesn't know about the rule of thirds, but we're not really going to go into that. You don't always need the rule of thirds. I think it's an okay photo. Like this photo is like more of a close-up. And I like this much more because you can see like the expressions in the mom and the dad. And you get some of the scenery. And she is following the rule of thirds here. So it is actually a good photo. I would print it too. And yeah, they're decently exposed. Maybe just a little bit of tweaking with the white balance in Lightroom. Oh, and here is the same photo but with a flash. So these cameras actually kind of have a self flash, like they flash by themselves. If you've never used one, I used to use them a lot when I was in high school. Before I got my first camera, I would use these a lot, and they were cheaper back then. Back then you had like the 1 hour photo, but now since they're getting rid of the film developments, sometimes it takes a week or two to get your film back. So it really sucks. Well, in the States, because I live in Korea now, I could still do it here fastly. But I like this picture with the flash much more. This next photo of her parents is okay. You know, I would have liked to have seen it more closer, but I also like the scenery. Here we have maybe her uncle and her grandpa. It's alright, you know, I wish I could see her grandpa's eyes looking at the camera. Here's a shot with the sunset and her mom using the flash. Actually, this is a good picture. You know, so many people fail at taking a decent picture like this. Like they'll take the picture of the sunset, but the mom would be like really underexposed. Like the model, you can't even see her. Or the model will be exposed and the background will be like all blown out. You know, most of the time you watch all these YouTube channels and they're always telling you to buy the greatest camera, the greatest lens. The best thing you can actually do is buy some decent lighting. You know, buy a softbox, buy an LED light, or buy a flash. Even the cheapest ones will make way better results than the most expensive camera and lens. So these come with built-in flash, and I think it fires automatically. So already she takes better pictures than most people out there, because most people out there can't even use a flash. Like everyone's afraid to use it. Now we have a photo just with the landscape, and I'm probably going to print this. You know, you may not know this, but I started off as a landscape and cityscape photographer. Like I have a lot of videos about landscapes and cityscapes on my older channel, but I'm gonna move them to this channel because it's got a lot of information for some people who come to Seoul and want to know about these places. There's another shot with her mom and her grandpa. That one's okay. I like this one much more. The one where like you kind of backlit but at an angle, and it's kind of goldenish hour. It looks like this was a sunrise. Like maybe they spent the night on the mountain, like in a cabin or something. They got the sunset. Or maybe they got there early in the morning and they were just getting like the first sunrise. That might be it. But we saw the other pictures and they were there in the daytime, so it's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. Maybe their pictures are just all out of order, you know, when they get them processed. I like this photo. We have another beautiful landscape, and oh, there's an S curve, you know. For those of you who are into composition and landscape, you got the little sinuous S. That's really, really well done. I mean, I don't think that was her intention, but it's quite beautiful. I always like looking at S lakes and S rivers, you know. It's just a landscape photographer thing. She even cut off most of the trees on the bottom. Like that's some good shit. So she's got the eye for it. We're gonna print that one for sure too. Here's another picture, more of the same. Another photo. Oh, this time she did the rule of thirds. It just goes to show that just after some practice with the camera, you naturally start doing these things. And she kind of cut off their shoes, but not by very much. This is actually more like a rangefinder camera, so maybe she wasn't trying to cut off the shoes, but she you can't really tell with these. Like she might have framed it like perfectly, not cutting off the feet, but then just a little bit of range cuts it off. So she's doing good. It's another shot with her mom and her grandpa. That one's all right. Another one of her mom. I wonder if she just kind of hurried up and used up the film camera, because it was she had it for like 2 or 3 months. So either way, she got some nice shots, and it's good to see what she's doing. Shot of her grandpa along the path. It's all right. I would have moved the camera a little bit more so I could see the path. Close up. It's okay. And that was the last of them. So yeah, like I said, I have a few more of these cameras coming up. This is all out-of-pocket expense for me. Like I don't know how much these cost in the States anymore, but each one costs like $15 in Korea. So if you do the math, how many cameras I've given out? 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe like 7 or 8 cameras. Each one at $15 each. And then to get them developed is another $6. And then to get the prints, each print's like $20. But I'm not gonna print every picture, just my favorite ones. So you know, sometimes we tend to want to spend a lot of money like on lenses or cameras or gear, but it helps to spend your money on more artistic things like this, because like at least 2 of the people that I've given these cameras to now have now enjoy photography, you know, because one of my students, because one of them was my students, I gave her my Fuji X100. You know, that camera was like $1,000, but I know she's making good use of it, and I wouldn't have just given it to any random person. I gave it to her because I knew she was genuinely interested and she tried to take photos, and she's also one of my models. So yeah, you never know what you can do. You know, once all this is said and done, I'm going to buy a few more of these and kind of place them around the city with my address, and just the message to take photos of whatever you want, and when you're done, mail it to me. Probably not many people are gonna mail it to me, but I'll be happy if I get one camera back, and I don't mind spending my money on that kind of thing, you know, because I'm not really expensive person. Like I don't go around buying expensive fancy things or clothes or food. Just enjoy photography. Anyways, I'll see you around, and be sure to leave some comments or something, you know, that kind of thing. Peace.